Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shai, Barak Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Akwakadash, double honors and salutations to the elders and apostles of Great Stone rule well, and to the ark around the four corners of the earth, preaching the gospel from Ashak Yahweh Shai in sincerity and truth and diligence of mind. Yeah, this is the Brother Menashe, DC Church, short lesson for the hopeful elect in this last days and times. Yeah, so this agenda of Esau, man, to get the people jacked up with the with the jab juice is just stirring up some unease among the people. All right, and the people are gonna protest some more. So it's just the beginning, of the people pushing back against their so-called overlords, man. All right, and it's gonna get ugly. All right, so you know how it is, man. The elites, they want to have their so-called world government, and I got a quick quote. It's from one of the so-called henchmen, right? So-called henchmen for the elites. All right, this is from James Paul Warburg. All right, the Amalekites, and this is what he said concerning the plans of the elite for world government. He says, "We shall have world government, whether or not we like it. The only question is whether world government will be achieved by conquest or by consent." Yeah, so this is exactly what they want. They want world government. They want power. They want all power to be consolidated in their grasp, and the world is in uproar. That's why there's so much protests around the world. And let me get a quick precept. It's going to be from the book of Proverbs chapter 29. All right, Proverbs chapter 29. Verse 2 says, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn." Yeah, so the majority of the people you see on the screen are Edomites in North Carolina, right? In Raleigh, and they're just upset, So you see women with their children, you see men in there. So you'll be surprised how much resistance is going to be observed, in these last days against the wills of these elites, because, this elite, especially of the Amalekites, they want their so-called world government at all costs. They want their so-called new world order, and they are willing to deceive the people, and they're also willing to do it by the sword, and that's why they're always pushing that element of fear, propaganda and deception and coercion. Okay, and now since they already have the so-called U.S. government in the in the palm of their hands, they can introduce any legislation or policy they like, and they get away with it. But hey, it's only for a short time, all right? Because it's the Most High's program. The Most High has already said in Galatians chapter 6 or 7. No one can mock the Most High and get away with it. Whatever you sow is what you're gonna reap. Okay, so let me play the clip real quick.
Growing concerns tonight from some in North Carolina that they will be forced to get vaccinated. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rod Carter.
I'm Angela Taylor. Some of the people concerned packed the lawn of the legislative building today, demanding support of a bill that offers protection for people who don't want to get the vaccine.
CBS 17's Jamise Price heard their concerns today and shares why they are backing this bill. Jamise.
As the bill, or when they pass the bill, in favor of the people, not to go along with the jab, the jab doctrine, the jab propaganda, the people still got to come out there and fight again to protest against the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. All right, so it's gonna get ugly anyway.
Rod, this demonstration lasted all day. This lawn just outside the legislative building, it was packed with a few hundred folks who, for the most part, want to make sure they are not required by the government, a business, or their job to get a vaccine or show proof they received it. The message, loud and clear. Their body, their choice. A message they're calling medical freedom. This group doesn't want the COVID-19 vaccine and doesn't want to. At this time, is not a requirement by the state. In HB 558, a proposed bill would prohibit it from ever happening.
This is more about protecting our bodies, protecting our freedom.
Jenny Kay was one of a few hundred people who rallied for support of HB 558 on the lawn of the General Assembly. The bill prohibits the governor from requiring or mandating that everyone receives a vaccine through an...
Yeah, so you already know the so-called governors and these legislators, they're in the pockets of the elites. All right, so it don't matter if it's a big state or a small state, a big city or a small city, they're all undertake. All right, so that's the reason why certain legislations have been able to pass through, lower house and upper house, and they use all the muscle they have to enforce it. And that's the reason why these people curse their so-called leaders every day. Okay, so it's only a matter of time, before it gets physical, and the Lord already prophesied about that. So the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 15, it says, "Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord Yahweh, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us?" Yeah, so the Most High knows, and the Most High sees, and the angels know, and the angels see. All right, and that's why the elites are being exposed, and the people are protesting, and they're likening the rulership of this so-called government official to so-called Nazi Germany. The National Socialist Party and all that stuff. But it don't matter what label they put on. It's just, the goal of the elite to have the people corralled and maintained and managed and discarded. Their goal is to have that birthright of the Israelites, all right, of the so-called Negroes, of the so-called Latinos, of the so-called Native Americans, all right? So, the struggle is real, all right? Just like, folks in the world. And that's exactly, man, all this is happening because they want the birthright back. They want the birthright of the Israelites back, of the so-called minorities that live in the ghettos, all right? Folks who like to call, niggers, wetbacks, and tontos. Yeah, so that's how special our inheritance is, man. This is the damage that the elites, these Edomite elites, the so-called white man, is willing to do to his own people just to have what is ours. But he can't really get it because the Most High didn't put his name on it. All right. So another precept I would like to get is from the book of Job, chapter 5. All right, Job chapter 5. I'm going to read verse 12 and verse 13. It says, "He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise." Yeah, so the enterprise to have the people go along with their, this plan of so-called mandatory vaccination is not going to go as they want it to, because the people are waking up and they already refuse that they're not going to go along with it anymore, man. They've seen the destruction that the so-called lies is causing People have been dying, people have been damaged for life, and they can't really function as regular human beings anymore. So what happens? The so-called companies that create the juice, they're gonna get away with it anyway because the government works for the corporations, man. Okay. And when was the last time you saw Bill Gates, his wife, and all these so-called philanthropists on TV promoting the jab? All right. And it just shows you, man, that the elites are nervous, and you know how it is, man. The Mosai is going to turn the people against them, and the elites will have to turn back when the people, against them with a sword too. That's why when you read Isaiah chapter 19, it tells about the Egyptian shall, raise his sword up against the Egyptians. So it's going to cause a lot of chaos in America, man, because the elites want to have their so-called world government, all right? And then verse 13 says in the book of Job chapter 5, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong. Yeah, so their plan is going to fail anyway, because the Lord Hamashiach Yahushai is going to put that final nail in their coffin, all right? So it's going to get ugly. That's why we pray to Lord Hamashiach Yahushai that, we are granted mercy in these last days so that we're able to escape all these evils, okay? And then another precept I'd like to bring out is from the book of Sirach. Sirach chapter 42, verse 20. It says, no thought escapeth him, neither any word is hidden from him. So there's nothing that, this elite can hide from the Lord. All right. Sirach chapter 42, verse 20. No thought escapeth him, neither any word is hidden from him. All right. So the Lord sees all things, and in due time, He always let His elect, His servants, the prophets, know what is going on. All right. And brothers always putting up lessons, and YouTube always want to block it or shadow ban brothers' accounts or videos because it's revealing the plans of these elites, man. And the people are doing the same thing too. So that's what you're gonna be seeing more of, man. All this censorship, man. And you have another what you call it? Another breaking news of what Facebook is doing. I'll make that another video of what they're really doing to, suppress the truth, okay? And how they use the algorithms. They say one thing on the front, on their website, in the media, but what they do in the background is totally different in their offices, okay? So another precept I would like to read is going to be from the book of Sirach chapter 10, okay? That's should be enough to wrap this up real quick. Sirach chapter 10, verse 29. It says, who will justify him that sinneth against his own soul, and who will honor him that dishonoreth his own life? So whoever goes along and take this jab juice, he's sinning against your soul, and you're dishonoring your life, okay? And there is no remedy, from turning against the Lord, Mashiach Yahushua, in these last days, especially those people that go along with this doctrine of taking the jab, and going along with taking the mark of the beast too, and worshiping the image of the beast. So Sirach chapter 10 verse 21, it says, who will justify him that sinneth against his own soul, and who will honor him that dishonoreth his own life? No one. Okay, the world can do it, but it's not going to stand. but it's the word of the Lord that matters the most. So, is the Lord going to justify the wicked above the just? No. All right. So, one more principle I'd like to read is going to be from the book of Revelation, chapter 13. I'm going to read verse 15. Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. So this is what the elites want. It said, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beasts, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So all these people standing up there with their placards and all their signs, whatever, voicing their frustration, don't want to go along with the government, they are destined for extermination, all right, because they don't want to go along with the image of the beast. So they got to be killed, and that's what the elites want, all right. You know, they will try to joke around and say, you know what, we just, being satirical. But in actuality, they mean business. That's why they have the jab juice. They have all this type of biological weapons, all these technological tools, cyber tools, to make an economy crash and all that stuff. Poison the water supply, poison the air. It's just diabolical, what this so-called elites have, planned against the people. Okay, and then it says in verse 15, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Yes, all these folks, man, they're at least gonna want to attempt to have them chipped, and some are gonna resist unto death. Some are gonna be cornered, and they're going to take it because of the pressures from family. And you always know, man, the elect, man, the 1/3 of our people are not going to take it, man, because the Lord has already set that barrier that He's reserved the righteous not to put their hand toward iniquity, all right? And you know what, that's the point right there, man. That's the point right there. Just to keep the lesson brief and short, man. And they want to have to collapse the system to make the people beg for the chip. And some are going to go along with it, some will not. And hey, that's what we're going to be seeing in this last day. So with that, just say Shalom, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Kadash.